Village, welcome to the premiere episode of Red Lipstick Conversations. So, yay! It is Friday, and I'm going to say that it is Fabulous Friday because look, I feel like I am looking fabulous, and hopefully, you all are feeling fabulous. If you all follow me on social media, then you know that Monday was Money Making Monday. And I continue to push and push throughout the week so that by the time that it has reached today, it is absolutely a Good Friday. So get comfortable. Thank you so much for joining me. And listen, we're going to get into some good stuff today. I can't wait to get started. So, first of all, the reason for this new podcast is because at first I was going to do an After Dark series for Womanhood Decoded, but then I went to Podcast Movement and that didn't do well when it was tested in the group. And so when I was looking at names, Womanhood Decoded After Dark didn't do well. And so then I came up with a couple other names, but thankfully, some of my industry friends, we were speaking one night and we came up with a couple names and I put them together and then we came up with Red Lipstick Conversations. And so the reason behind the name of the podcast is because, well, when I was a little girl, I loved to watch anything with a superhero, specifically Superman. Dun, da, da, da. And the only thing that changed Clark Kent into Superman, everybody knows, was his red cape. So I feel that as a black woman navigating the world in 2024, when I am wearing this color lips or red lips or pink lips, depending on, how you're looking at it or what your perspective is, you will notice that, well, I feel like I'm reclaiming my femininity. I feel like I'm reclaiming my sexuality. And I feel that I am boldly moving through the world the way in which I was created to do. And so, thank you for choosing of all of the places that you could be listening and tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. And Tamp Out, the CEO, is in the building. Thank you so much for your support. What she has done is revolutionary for women. And there is going to be a soft launch. So, Tamp Out is a tool that enables us as women to have a cleaner cycle experience. And when I say cycle, I'm talking about period. Because listen, the color red is not a bad word. Red lipstick isn't bad. And I want all of us to understand that navigating life as a woman is just a normal part of life. And so, yes, check out TAMPOUT on Instagram and also on LinkedIn, and you'll get all of the latest information right there. So let's get into today's show. I want to start with this bag right here. And it says Independent Woman, and it also says Invest in Women and Fierce Foundry. And so the CEO of this amazing organization led by women and for women, we are part of the same organization called the Entreprenista League. And in that organization, we're able to support one another, we're able to uplift one another. And then yesterday, or some point this week, she had, or there was a networking event for weekend for New York women. And so I attended the event and I got these wonderful little buttons, and I also got a bag that says Invest in Women, because that's what we absolutely need to be doing. So I want to start with saying that I have a company, as I told you all, called Womb Literacy, and in that capacity I am a fertility awareness educator. And this summer I actually launched two different products. And the first product is a yoni steam, and the second one is a yoni oil. And so I actually am on my fourth batch, and I'm still printing out labels. I'm still packing the envelope. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, know that the process is underway. It is just myself. I am a one woman operation. I, as you know, am wearing many hats, and I like to sometimes say that I am the queen of commas. So as you know, I am a mom first and foremost. I am also a photojournalist. That's my bread and butter. That's how I get paid, or that's what allows me to sit here and pay my bills. And then I am a podcast host. And finally, I am a freelancer and a media consultant and nonprofit strategist. So as you can see, it's comma, comma, comma. And yeah, it can be a lot. It can be a lot. But today, I wanted to focus on the pursuit of pleasure. So often we are pursuing success or pursuing making certain different checks in boxes, like graduating from certain schools, living in a certain zip code, wearing a certain designer bag. Well, today I would like us to take a moment to kind of just relax. And I feel that, it's a little bit problematic that when it comes to sex, the industry is so male bodied focused. And what I mean by that is, as a woman that enjoys to eat, and I am a woman that enjoys being, or, attractive or sexy, any of those adjectives will do. I was at Victoria's Secrets earlier this week, and I attempted to find something to wear for this weekend so that could be sexy. Well, when I tell you everything I tried on was like trying on a torture device, I told myself, listen, the days of me or the years of me punishing myself to try to be attractive for a man, and wearing certain garments and shoes and things to do so. Yeah, that was over a couple decades ago. Being that I am in my 40s, at this point, I'm only doing things that feel good. I'm only doing things that align with who I am. And I'm only doing things that, well, are going to be in service to my goals. And so if it's not going to do none of that, I don't want it. So let's get into what's in this bag. First of all, as a fertility awareness educator, what I have been doing this past summer and for a number of years since I started the company Womb Literacy is I have been hosting events the same week that children decide, or not children, but teens go to university. Because basically, what they are being taught in schools is severely lacking. And so, what I am doing is I'm not advocating for young adults to not have sex. I'm just advocating that they are equipped with some facts. And by facts, I mean data. So, right here, this is a basal body thermometer. And what I teach is the simple thermal method of fertility awareness. So let me say it again slower. Simple thermal method. And so what that does is, as a woman, you are able to, number one, check your cervix position. Number two, check your cervical mucus amount and type. So for example, do you have a lot of stringy um, vaginal fluid or cervical mucus, or is it more on the yogurt side of things as far as the color and texture? Depending on what type and the amount, that lets you know where you are in your cycle as it pertains to your ability to have children. One of the things that I am so saddened by is that women are walking around with their fertility as if it is a bomb. You feel that, if you are intimate, you can get pregnant any day of the week, anytime, any day. You cannot. Listen, men have multiple sperm that they make throughout the day. We as women were born with a certain number of eggs, and however many eggs you decrease every year in eggs. So we are no longer making eggs. So whatever eggs you have is the eggs that you have. That's why there are services like freezing eggs, because we only have a particular amount. So, additionally, you check your basal body temperature. So, you can utilize the data that you gather each day and you can chart it on an app that you can use on your smartphone or on your tablet, or if you're old school like me, meaning you were born in the 80s or before, and then you grew up in the 90s, you like to write things down. So, I like to write things down, and so that's what that's for, but we're going to get into that later. But anyway, you can use the information that you gather to find out basically if you want to use it so that you are having intercourse during a time when you are actually ovulating, or you can choose to use a barrier method such as a condom, or you can choose to pull out, or you can choose to use a non-hormonal birth control called Phexi, and that's something that I utilize, and you use it one per time. So it comes in individual wrappers, and the reason why non-hormonal is important is because, listen, let me make sure I get this right so that you all can understand. When was the last time you all went to the doctor? And think about it. When you got your prescription, when the doctor or the practitioner was asking you information, one of the things that they gathered from you was your weight and your height. And that is what is utilized to figure out the dosage for basically almost any medication that is on the market. However, when it comes to hormonal birth control, which is comprised of progesterone and estrogen, for most of them, did you know that the amount or the pill that I am given is the same amount that someone in the WNBA is given? Now think about that. Isn't that a little bit problematic? Because I am 5'3" on a good day. And why is it that a woman that is twice my size is taking the same amount? So obviously it's going to have a different consequence for my body than it might for another person. So long story short, I had a toxic amount of birth control in my body to the point that I passed out at work. When I got to the emergency, they did a blood panel and a urinalysis, and they said, you have a toxic amount of progesterone in your mouth. And I'm like, wait a minute, how is that possible? And they were like, well, how many birth control pills are you taking every day? I said, wait a minute, I'm not even taking any birth control pills. I'm on the NuvaRing. And they said, well, you have a toxic amount and it's in your blood and it's everywhere. And you're going to have to be hospitalized until we figure out how we can get the levels down. Now, mind you, my mind was spinning. I was like, wait a minute. I go to the OBGYN just like I'm sure all of you all do annually. I get my pap smear. I make sure, to get my mammogram. And I'm taught, about how I'm supposed to be feeling around with my fingers pressed together like that around the nipple and so on forth. I got this from the Museum of Sex, in case you're wondering. And I got it because, look, it matches me. And I like to give my demonstrations and use things on purpose that are have color to it. Why? Because diversity matters. It absolutely matters. Anyway, moving on. I found out I had a toxic amount, and they put me in this MRI or whatever sort of machine. And when they put me in there, they said that they showed me all these pockets. And as a result, that was, I want to say, around maybe 12 years or so ago when that took place. And so since then, I have not been on hormonal birth control. And if you are following, you know that I have one daughter who's 4 years old. So you can do the math. I have been able to track my cycle and to not get pregnant for a number of years. So it is a tried and true methodology. But just like anything, it only works when you do it right. So I suggest that if you are interested in learning about the symptothermal method of hormonal birth control, you can find me at Womb Literacy. You can also check out Fertility Friday, and Lisa Henderson Jack is a black woman who is also a fertility awareness educator. You can also check out the Consultant, CUNTSULANT, Cunt Sultant on Instagram, and she also is a fertility awareness educator that I have worked with and I trust. And so between the three of us, you can get it solved. But if you are a person who doesn't want to do the basal body temperature in your mouth in the morning, you feel like that's too much of a daunting process and for you, then you can try this thing called a temp drop. And what it is it's a basal body thermometer. You put it on your arm. You can wear it during sex or any sort of sex. You can put this on your arm and you can utilize it. And then when you wake up in the morning, you sync it to your app. Boom, you're good to go. Again, this is called the temp drop. Finally, there is the keg right here. And what the keg does, it is three things in one. So you can measure your basal body temperature, you can measure your cervical mucus type and amount, and you can practice your kegels. And so the importance of kegels is to keep away incontinence, because as a woman, as you age, everything just loosens and falls down because of gravity. And so this thing, you push this button right here, it's going to vibrate. It's going to feel amazing. You're going to insert it. You can do it. You can wet it under the faucet and then insert it just like you would a tampon or a period cup, and it goes right directly in place. And you know that it's in place when you can't feel it. This part is on the outside of your vaginal area. And yes, you put it in, and you can it can just measure, or it will or you can practice. And so you basically squeeze around it and you hold it to counts of 5 and counts of 10. And as you do it over time, you develop a strong Kegel muscle. Moving on. The next, those are all the different ways outside of the ring that you can wear, the Ova ring. I haven't purchased that yet, but it's on my to-do list, because my reason for getting all of these random film tech devices is because I want you to know that there's a couple different ways to, cut this pie. And I just want you all to have the information so that you all can make informed decisions as women. Finally, ooh, look. This is a yoni egg, and this is the advanced yoni egg. So what that means is I have gotten to the point where I can hold this in place where it goes, which is in my vaginal area. And the point of this is not just for pleasure for the male-bodied individual that I happen to be with, but it is, again, going to assist me as I age. And it goes into this little thing right here, and all of these things have been boiled and washed per use. I have a thing that does that. Moving on. As we age as women, things start to change as it pertains to lubrication. This is one of my favorites, or this is the favorite lubricant that I have, and it is by a brand called Foria Intimacy, and it is called Sex Oil with CBD. And so what this does is, let me see, it says topical, not compatible with latex condoms. And so what this does, it says it makes everything nice. So let me turn it, and so you all can see. Look at this. Ooh, nice. There is no, that sticky yuck feeling that comes from KY and various other yuck types of lubricants. This lubricant is made with women in mind. And I guess, men too, because obviously they're going to benefit if they're going to have any sort of intercourse with us. But this sex oil is it. This is thebomb.com. I'm not sure if the kids are still saying it, but it is. The next item in this bag is Foria Intimacy Oil, and it's for arousal. It says Awaken Arousal Oil. And so what this is utilized for is, pregame. So ladies, when you get that text that says, I'm on the way, you can pull this out. I've used it, up to 3 hours in advance, and it was still good to go. So what this does, it's not a lubricant. It's like ecstasy for your poom poom or for your punna or whatever you want to call it. So it makes everything super sensitive, but in a good way. So basically, you can blow on it and you're going to be thinking that he is the love of your life simply because its proximity, it makes everything feel amazing. And then when you couple that with this, meaning you put that on him and you put it on yourself, whichever way, or both, you can't use it too much. When you put it, I like to put it on myself and on my male-bodied partner. And we can do all the positions we like to do. We can restart and start and come back and forth. We can eat a sandwich in between and come back to it, and we don't have to reapply. I just sit on a towel while I'm eating my sandwich, to be honest. That's what I do. And that brings me to this bag. And this bag here, oh, wait, one more thing in this other bag so I can close it real quick. Okay, this thing is called Veglixer by Film Magic. And what this does is, well, if anything is potentially off in that region, if you think that you might have any sort of odor, or if you wipe and you just feel like, this is just not even right. If you have any sort of hesitation or wondering about it, check this out. I've been using it for about 7 years now. The lady, everything is chemical free. It's not tested on animals, no preservatives, no colors. It's paraben free. It's 100% natural. It's vegan. It's cruelty free. In other words, all that's in here is positivity and it's from nature. And then look, she has amazing packaging and it's a black owned company. So again, it's Film Magic and it's a Veglixer. And so this is used either when you think you have something problematic like a yeast infection or bacterial vaginosis, and it will solve it without you having to take an antibiotic that's going to weaken your system when you really actually need an antibiotic. You only need an antibiotic when you need one. So you utilize this in place of that. And I'm telling you, it's going to be everything. Plus, it has a very light lemon clean scent. So again, everything is positive in this independent woman bag. I like to call this my pleasure bag that I never leave home without, because listen, I'm a woman that's always on the move and I always need to prepare or be prepared. And you know that I'm that way when it comes to work. Why can't I be that way when it comes to pleasure? That's just my thoughts on the process. So now let's get into this bag. So if you all have been following me, you all know that I am your favorite canna mom and advocate. I feel that we as women need to know how to microdose. And if you didn't know, just like you have a circulatory system and a respiratory system, you also have a cannabinoid system. That's right. You have a cannabinoid system. But you know what you don't have? You don't have an alcohol system. You have a liver. And women or people in middle America or people in general, there was a huge crisis, and it has to do with taking pills and things. And yeah, if they would have just been taking or microdosing, none of that would have been a problem. But it is what it is. What is in here are some goodies for Friday. This is Bliss. Bliss, it's 20 plant-based pills for happiness, and the dosage is it's 100 milligrams per vial. It's 5 milligrams per serving, and it is 100 milligrams of CBD. So it's CBD 100 milligrams, THC 100 milligrams, and 5 milligrams of per serving. So this is what it looks like. Just like taking an Aleve, just like taking a Tylenol, and it's fast acting. 15 minutes after you take it, you will start to feel relaxed. And unlike other edibles, see, a lot of edibles that you probably have had in your life were probably heavy on the indica side. So everything that I utilize is on the sativa side because I don't need to be sitting and contemplating all 4 decades of my life. When I get high, I like to just be high and that's it, be in the moment and relax. I do not want to sit and contemplate and stress and think about and go down a deep rabbit hole of thought. But that is what indica does for me or for people in general. But sativa works completely different and it focuses your mind and it relaxes you simultaneously. Then I have love, and it is the same thing, but it's a different type. And these are chocolate. Ooh. And these are also 5 milligrams. And they taste like basically like a coffee bean. And these work faster than these because you are chewing it. And when I tell you, listen, ladies, you don't got to even like them a little bit. If you take this, you're going to like him a lot of bit. And then he's going to like that you like him. Trust me. This, as you already know what this is, it's my little crusher. This right here is what I take to the dispensary. And as you can see, it's empty. And so it's Friday. So soon as I leave here, I am going to go and get my re-up or refill or whatever. And I only go to ones that are federally legal. Keyword federally legal. Why? Because I'm a mom and I don't have time to be having stuff in my things that is not what I want it to be. I know that when I shop there, I can shop there with peace and happiness, knowing that everything has been vetted and there's nothing in there that's going to be in there that I don't want it to be. These right here are my pre-rolls. These are my favorite little ones. Oh, this one is empty. That's sad. This one is not empty, thank goodness. So that's what these are. And the reason why this is important is because I want to tell you all something. Hopefully I have it in here. Do I have it? I don't have it. Oh, that's sad. Basically, there is a wick that I have, but apparently I don't have it. Anyway, what the wick does, it keeps you from breathing in the fumes from the lighter. So basically it makes a cleaner smoke. So what it is you light the wick and then you use the wick to light the joint or the J or whatever have you. Shout out to Silk Road, New York City. They are located in Jamaica, Queens, and they have great customer service. And yeah, I'm able to get everything that I need as it pertains to my cannabis needs. So the long story short is do what works for you. If you are a person that just wants to utilize just pharmaceuticals, do you boo. You know, I'm just trying to let you know that there's a healthier pathway to peace through cannabis. That's a plant that was there for nature, you know, just like any other plant like echinacea, golden seal. All of these are herbs and modalities that are here to, I feel, help us navigate life. Moving on, I wanted to talk about this brand right here. It is called Ancestral Whisper, and it is Mommy and Me. I got this when I was covering the Doula Expo last weekend, and shout out to Latham. You did an amazing job, and so did Tatiana Ali and Queen Afia and everyone else that was in attendance, all of the birth workers, all of the doulas. Thank you so much for all that you do. Shout out specifically to my doula, Naratu, who is Ancient Song Doula Services doula. And she is a full service doula. She can do everything that you need and more. And so for me, being a single mom, she was a godsend. What Naratu did is she provided a foundation for me when I was having the most stress throughout my pregnancy because I was a high risk. Because I was older and I had several different complications that was related to my fibroid situation. And so I don't want to get into all of that because that's a little bit of a sad story, but the happy part is I was able to overcome all of those challenges, and I have a beautiful, thriving daughter. Her name is Isabella Hope, and the reason I named her Isabella Hope is because Isabella means beautiful, and then hope, obviously, you gotta have it. And so, all of the years that I wanted to be a mom, and it seemed like motherhood was outside of my reach, that is the reason why I named her Isabella Hope. But getting back to this lovely brand right here, what I love about Ancestral Whisper is, well, first of all, anybody that I walk within proximity of, I have, they have told me I smell amazing, and sometimes I have just this on, but a lot of times I have something else on that I'm going to show you because it's Fabulous Friday, and I want to, make sure that you all have the tools to be fabulous. Because this Wednesday we talked about the tools of the trade as it pertains to me being a photojournalist, and as it pertains to me being a podcaster. But yes, today we're talking about the tools as it pertains to the pursuit of pleasure, because I feel we should be balanced individuals. I don't feel that we should just be all work and no play, because that makes for a very dull woman. And I would like to be a vivacious woman, and maybe you would too. So, put this on. It's going to smell good, and you are not going to be ashy. And moving forward into the winter season, this is something that you are not going to want to live without. Ancestral Whisper. And put it anywhere that you want to get attention. So you can put it here, all over your body. Wherever you put your baby oil is where you put Ancestral Whisper. Moving on to my current fragrance that I'm wearing today. This is Goddess, because it's great marketing, isn't it? Goddess. I mean, doesn't want to be a goddess? But this is Burberry. This is the travel one, and I got this because I have the full size one. But as y'all know, I am a frequent flyer mama. I am a mama on a mission. So just because I'm on a mission doesn't mean that I should smell like Bath and Body Works. I don't wear Bath and Body Works. I wear Burberry, Gucci, and Positivity. And so therefore, whatever full size I get, I always get the travel size so that I can stay consistent, because at this point in my life, consistency is key. Moving on. Being that it is Fabulous Friday, I think, we should all strive to find things that bring us joy. And for me, something that is bringing me joy at this point in my life is a little bit on the silly side. But you know what? That's okay. I am healing my inner child, the child that had to be too serious, the child that learned to play the violin at a very tender age of probably 3.5, and then went on to play the alto and soprano saxophone, that basically followed every rule that she could think of to follow. That person didn't get a childhood. I feel like I had moments. But anyway, what I am doing to heal my inner child, I am seeing my therapist, and she suggested that I do something that brings me joy. So that's why you see all these stickers. Stickers bring me joy, because back when I was a child, I used to love Lisa Frank. Who remembers Lisa Frank? Lisa Frank was the one that had those folders that had the, unicorns and rainbows and all of that on it. I used to love that. And so that brought me joy. So that's why you see all these stickers. When I see stickers, it brings me joy. Another thing that brings me joy are socks. And they're quite expressive socks. So being that it's daytime TV, I'm going to be good, and I'm just going to let y'all read what it says. Hopefully you can read what it says. Let me see if I can face it the right way. Let's see here, my Instagram audience and my Facebook and YouTube audience. Hopefully you can see what it says, and it's super accurate when it has to do with me. And the next one says, dream until it's a reality. Aw. And so you might be thinking, well, what you gonna wear these socks with, Tasha? I'm going to wear them over tights. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm going to accessorize around them because you know me, I love to accessorize and match. The next one I have is 100% not today. So y'all know that I am a Trini. So anything that is Trini color, I definitely gonna get it. hmm The next one is Watch the Queen Conquer. Ooh, nice, isn't it? Finally, every Canna mom needs to have these because they're just fly. Plus, these go with my Jordans as well. That's also why I got these. Okay, so we are still on the fun side of things. This is a game that I recommend if you want to spice things up without having an argument or having to find a reason to make up and break up. You can just buy a game. So these are the directions. These are the little pieces that come out with it, and then you get the cards right here. And they're fun. So then the next game is this. You see it right here. And so let me just read a couple of these for you all so that you all can see. And y'all excuse my nails. You see this? I had a tragic situation as it pertains to my nails, but listen, I'm going to get it rectified. Because my choice was either be late for here or go get my nails done. And y'all know I don't play when it comes to my podcast. So my nails, some had to give. And so it was my nails. Anyway, what this is, how this game works is you take turns picking a card. So I pick a card, they pick a card, and so it goes like that. So it says, this one says, are you attracted to someone? Suddenly they mention that they love a book that you hate. Do you? A. Say you have to leave. B. Think that they are still quite attractive. C. Find them less attractive, but think this will make it easier to leave them after sex. Interesting conversation starter, don't you think? Then the next one says, if your partner were kinder to you, would you be kinder to them? So I would just like to answer this question and say, my partner's behavior does not dictate my behavior because I am a fully grown adult. And so if I am waiting for them to do things for me so that I can do things for them, then we're going to be wasting everybody's time. So I do things when it feels good to do them. And he does things when it feels good for him to do so. And I just am so blessed to have him in my life. So that's that. And shout out, baby. I think you are out of work at this point. If you're watching, I appreciate it. And you know, I'm going to wrap this up so we can eat. The next one says, at a restaurant, your partner reaches out and holds your hand as it rests on the table. Do you A, wish that they would do that more often? B, that they could do it less often? C, that they would just stop doing it? Or D, it is so awkward? So, again, just some ideas to, spice things up. Finally, or not finally, I want to talk about this because she's just amazing. And this particular one came to my house and it has my name on it and has her face on it. And I feel like, just shout out to South Africa. And Tyler, you're doing your thing. I'm super proud of you. And she's just in this magazine looking just as amazing and flawless as ever. So go get it. Go get it, ladies. It's a lot in here, too, as it pertains to fall fashion. And I saw something in here that y'all need to know about. This is the new Gucci floral. The purple one is the best. That's the one I have. So I would definitely recommend you getting that because every time I wear it, I feel like everyone around me stops, including women. So that's that. So before I close, I got to talk about the money because none of this is possible without finances. So this is a record book, and the purpose of it is so that you can see real numbers in real time. So in here, being that I am an entrepreneur, this says projected expenditures for October, and then for the business, and then projected expenditures, personal expenditures, and then what's coming in and what's going out. Basically, the bottom line is you need to have more coming in than going out. Sometimes that's not how that works out because, listen, sometimes you just got to bootstrap your way through it. And Jimmy Jam told me today in studio, as he was leaving to go, I believe, to the Tamron Hall show, he told me that, just keep going because I'm doing what I'm doing. And even though my show is an independent show, and even though I have to go all over the city, to cover events as a photojournalist, meaning sometimes I'm a photographer, other times I'm a journalist and I have to get quotes, video, and footage. The bottom line point is he told me to just keep doing it, keep waking up, and eventually, a blessing will happen. And I believe it because, listen, I started this podcast in the corner of my home in Brooklyn, Crown Heights, Brooklyn, and with my daughter, breastfeeding her in 2021. So if I can start in my home office in the corner, and I can situate myself here in Manhattan on 42 Broadway, working with the best black owned studio, which is DSN, the Matrix Studios Network here in New York City, then I feel like anybody can do it. Because listen, where there is a will, there is a way. So, hopefully, I have given you some things to think about and ponder. Y'all see, I am ready when I leave here. Going to put this on, and I am going to be on assignment for one assignment. But being that it's Friday, I'm just doing the one, and it's just a photo job, so I don't have to speak to anybody. I just got to go get some wide angles, some tight shots, and some stills, and then I have to upload it by 6 o'clock tonight. And yeah, I was already paid for it, and I'm going to get a rating once I upload it. And as y'all know me, it's going to be done early, because on time as a photojournalist or as a media personality is late. Because as explained to you earlier this week, you have to be there to set up. You got to be there to test the lights, test the lenses, test the batteries to make sure everything is working as it should. Hey, thank you for joining, Miss Lady. Haven't seen you in a minute. Hopefully, I can get you here in studio, or I can meet you there in Cali. I'm talking to you, Miss Deal. Happy Friday. Thank you, Jamar, for being in the house from Good. Everybody knows him as Good in Washington, D.C., and he assists with anything that has to do with youth there. So thank you for all that you do. And again, thank you, Tamp Out, and thank you to Keys Kilohertz for joining. All of your support, everyone that takes time to watch, takes time to subscribe, takes time to comment. All of that is moving me forward and pushing me further so that I can hopefully bring more things positive to the table. So this has been, let me take a sip right quick. Y'all see, this is kombucha, and it is in the ginger aid, and it is a probiotic beverage. One second. And it tastes absolutely amazing. Again, if you all are following me on social media, you saw my morning routine, so you all know that I take a probiotic in a capsule form, and I also drink kombucha throughout the day, twice a day. So I drink one at some point in the mid-morning, and one at some point in the afternoon. So 2 a day, to make sure that my vaginal area is as it should be. And notice I say vaginal area because I'm not afraid of my femininity, and you shouldn't be either if you happen to have female genitalia. And if you have a cycle, then these are things that we just have to navigate as grown adults. And so I feel like I need to have the conversation, so I'm going to have the conversation, because when you have the data, you can make better informed choices. So, this has been the very first episode of Red Lipstick Conversations. What you can look forward to coming up later this season is I have made some great partnerships with local clubs around the city. And when I say clubs, I'm talking about adult clubs. If you want to know more about that, then you can Google it. So basically, I am going to be taking you to adult play party venues so that, again, we as women can learn how to pursue our pleasure. I feel like there's a whole bunch of different ways to get to yay, and we need to find them, because probably like you, like myself, you spent way too much of your time trying to please the other party. And listen, I'm not saying that the other party's pleasure isn't important. I'm just saying that as women, we need to advocate for our pleasure and make sure that our pleasure is centered if we are in a relationship, because our needs matter. They just do. And so, again, thank you so much for taking time to be with me, to share space. And like I said, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be going to the Museum Sex. We're going to be learning about various different ways to tie up one another, if that's what we choose to do in our adult time. We are going to be learning about ways to navigate various different adult toys. And then we're going to also learn about different lifestyle choices, because listen, marriage, there's life beyond marriage, especially when it comes to exploring your sexuality. So we're going to be speaking to people that are polyamorous, people that live or have the BDSM dynamic, people that are on the LGBTQ spectrum, people that just love, people that live, and people that do all of that in New York City or the tri state area. And again, we're going to be talking to also women that are movers and shakers. So you just never know what you're going to get. Just like a box of chocolates, you might get an episode that is by and with me with another CEO wearing red lipstick, or you might find yourself somewhere in a dungeon with myself. And understand that everything that I'm going to be showing you, it's for consenting adults, keyword consenting. Everything is going to be safe and done in order, which means that STI tests are being done beforehand and condoms are used throughout. No play party or experience will be shared without having those protocols in place. So, again, this podcast is for the grown and sexy and for the fabulous people that are in the 40 and above crowd. So, this has been the first episode of Red Lipstick Conversations. Let me know what you think, and if you would like me to come somewhere, pun intended, if you would like me to come to your event, or if you are having a play party, or if you are doing something different in your relationship dynamic that you would like to share with an audience, send me a message on Tasha's Views. So that is my Instagram. That is what I am, who I am on TikTok, and basically everything except for Twitter. It's not Twitter anymore. I forget what you call it now. But anyway, that's Black Mom Life. But everything else is Tasha's Views, because it is my views that I see through a lens as a photographer or as in general, and then my views as in what I think. So that's why my name is called Tasha's Views. So anyway, send me a message on there. Again, I'm going to extend the opportunity to you all that are in the tri-state area. If you have a podcast and you don't have lights, camera, and action like I do, and you would like to, then you can also send me a message on Tasha's Views, and you can sit right here and you can have your podcast artwork up there, and we can try to raise your viewership. Because listen, if we want to do things different in the podcast space, then we're going to have to shake things up. We're going to have to lift up one another. We're going to have to support one another, and we're going to have to do it like we actually care. So again, thank you. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for what is in store for season 1 of Red Lipstick Conversations. I will see you next time. Again, I'm your host, Tasha Ray. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next week. Bye.
Does he need to like disconnect everything? I don't know what I need to do.
Just go over there and push stop.
Oh, end my video.
hmm
You done talking? Look at you. I'm with it.
Because we wanted to have the window.
He ain't walking the building. I was over there. He had a gas house talking to in the kitchen.
Okay. Welcome to the premiere episode of Red Lipstick.
This was so good. Oh, she
Con.
really got the snack. See, I didn't see that. Now that's probably what we was talking about.
And she ripped it right off of the was it from the store or from like the cart?
I walked into the bodega across the street, and he knows it's Friday. And soon as they have the trucks pull up, I'm watching the trucks, and soon as he puts it on the little trolley, I come and come get it, cause they sell out so fast. That's the one all of us want. So I have to make sure to get it first. So I'm not the Tasha from round the way. So DSN, is that something that I can put right here, or is it the Matrix Studios as far as location? For the location, can I put
You put the Matrix Studios. It's gonna come up.
It's gonna-
It should.
DAN